Well, hello, everybody. Harrison Painter here. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you. Thank each and every one of you for the opportunity to present the future of AI and some of these tools. I'd also like to personally thank Mike Schmidt and Todd Collins for the invitation, the hospitality. I had a wonderful time when I was in Louisville. For this video, I'm not going to give you the whole hour and a half that I gave you there in person. I'm going to give you an executive summary, mostly around the key takeaways and the tools and the ways that you can get the most out of this through application. So let's get started. I want to respect your time and I want to make sure that I create as much value as I possibly can. The first thing that I want to touch on before we get to the application is I really want you to fully understand this, because as you enter the world of AI, it is going to be very overwhelming. It's overwhelming for me, and this is all I do for a living. It's moving that quickly. There's so many tools, so much integration. So understand that that feeling is going to be normal. Okay, but what's more important than the tools themselves is you and your wisdom and your leadership. Remember when I talked about the IndyCar analogy, you don't need to be a CIO or a CTO to lead your organization into an AI future. You're an IndyCar driver. All you need to do is be able to drive that car, feel that car, understand what that car is doing, and then be able to communicate back to your team what it is that that car is doing. It's the same thing. You're guiding the AI. You are communicating with it. So your soft skills are going to be more important than ever, bringing your wisdom to the table, because AI is nothing more than ones and zeros that are brought together into information, that are brought together again into knowledge. But that's where it stops. That's where you come in. You bring your wisdom to the table. And what's beautiful about that is if you understand how to frame a problem, if you understand the solution that you want, and if you can learn to ask more questions, better questions, I often say it's go back to being a kid and just why, and just continue to ask those questions. You're going to get better output from whatever AI that you're using. Because again, AI brings knowledge, you bring the wisdom, and when you combine those two together, you're going to get some incredible results. And why do I say that? Soft skills are the superpower of the future. We've given soft skills lip service for a very long time, but AI cannot empathize. It can only analyze. Tools do not lead people. People lead people. And I don't see that changing anytime in the very near future. Soft skills are now business critical. Business critical. And human connection is going to matter more than ever, because as AI continues its role, understand your team, your employees, they're going to start feeling very fearful. As the news continues its push reporting that this company is laying people off, that company is laying people off, all of this is changing very rapidly. It's changing under the nose of a lot of people that don't even realize it's happening. This is going to create fear within your company. So it's going to be your job to make sure that you're leading them correctly, maintaining that culture, getting them the training that they need, bringing in people like me to make sure that they're fully aware and capable of what they can do. And you're going to be very AI forward, and your company is going to survive and thrive in this new AI-driven future. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes here, the applications, the things you can start using right now. And this is going to make your life better, more productive. I think you're going to see some great results from this. The PromptIQ Framework. This is something I created well over a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago now. And I apply this to almost every prompt that I put together. And the results I get are just so far greater than when I don't use it. It's just incredible. And I want to make sure that I get this in your hands. Now, why does the PromptIQ framework work? Well, the challenge is when you're prompting is that most prompts fail because they are vague, they're unstructured, they lack any real world direction. When I sit down with people and watch them use something like ChatGPT, typically I'll notice that they'll do one or two sentences or they treat it like Google, like a Google search. And without a clear framework, your AI outputs will remain inconsistent and disappointing. PromptIQ fixes all of that for you because it gives you a very simple 8-part system that's designed to completely transform how you communicate with your AI. Understand this, AI cannot read your mind. You have to train it, you have to guide it, you have to lead it. And if you can do that, the output that you get is going to be incredible. So let's get started because we've got PromptIQ. Each letter means something. The P is for precision. What we need to do is define the task clearly. It's amazing. I know this sounds like common sense, but I'm sure you've seen this throughout your career. Some of the things you take for granted, you'll go out on the floor, you'll meet with your team, and you realize a lot of folks can't really clearly define what it is that they want or that they're doing. They're all over the board. Focus on that precision. If you can specify the exact deliverables that you need, then you're going to get that better result because AI will absolutely give you those specified deliverables. So an example here, if you look for precision as a prompt, is I need a 3-paragraph email draft for a product launch targeting tech-savvy professionals. Very precise. The deliverable is very clear. It's magic. It really is. It's magic. Okay, now let's go to R. So we've got precision. Now we've got relevance. Specify your audience. Now, this is something as a professional marketer that I've done throughout my whole career, but I don't think other departments, other people do that enough. Who exactly am I speaking to here? If you can define who's going to consume that content, then you can draft it in a way that makes sense. Are they beginners? Are they experts? Are they engineers? Are they creatives? How you speak to all these different groups is going to be much different. And the beautiful thing about AI is you can maintain your voice, but you can still make tweaks to meet people where they're at and communicate more effectively. And understand that context here matters. If you share relevant background information, it's going to help the AI understand the situation and what that particular audience really needs. So here's a pro tip. This content is for small business owners with limited technical knowledge. Produce far better results than for business people. So you see how that prompt really creates some relevance within what you were trying to accomplish. Next up is organization. This one is very important. And what I love about organization is you can actually start putting frameworks within this framework. And I'll explain that in just a moment. But organization is just, how do you want it structured? Do you want it in bullet points? Do you want sections? Do you want headers? You know, if you're making a website, H1, H2 type scenario, do you want chronological order? Is there some type of order that you want? You can bring in other frameworks here. Say you have SMART goals. You're used to using that framework, Six Sigma, that framework. You can plug that into the O and you can get the structure and the format that you want out of this. Now, this one is my personal favorite. M is for modeling, because modeling allows you to not only set the tone and the voice of the output. Let's say you're writing a blog post or some type of marketing ad or whatever that is. It also allows you to go out there and grab a mentor. So I can grab a CMO of a Fortune 50 company. I can grab a behavioral psychologist. I can grab a web designer that specializes in how to get people to click on an ad. Whatever that is, you can now go grab and specify who to model after. You're setting the tone, you're defining a brand voice, you're matching a brand style, and you're actually getting some form of coaching or mentorship through modeling. It's just really, really powerful. So here's an example. Tone, engaging and conversational. Use active voice, match the friendly, approachable style of our existing blog content. Now, this is assuming, and again, you can train your AI. So if you create a project within ChatGPT, you can upload multiple blog posts. You can just really copy and paste multiple blog posts, put it into a thread, and then just say, I want to just copy the style of my voice or my writing style, whatever that is. And that's where then you can go in and say, act like you are a world-class, award-winning copywriter and write this in the style of, and it could be the name of somebody that you really admire, and it could write it in that style. So modeling is just completely amazing. Next up is practicality. Define the real world use. A lot of times we don't do this either, or we just kind of take things for granted and it's not something that we define. So where is this content going to live? What you create for something like Instagram is going to be much different than what you create for your corporate blog or a corporate communication. What is that presentation like? What do your internal memos look like? State your goal. What outcome do you want? Is this for leads, engagement? Am I just communicating with my employees? Am I trying to make a decision based on something? And then you can connect all of this to strategy. So how does this fit into a broader business objective that you might have? And here's an example. Goal: generate qualified leads from a LinkedIn campaign targeting mid-market SaaS companies. So you can see that's very practical. And you kind of start blending PromptIQ all into one amazing package. The T in PromptIQ is for testing. You don't just want one result and just go with that. Have it give you multiple type of results. You could create a direct result, a storytelling result, a data-driven result, have it create all three of those so you can look at them. I worked for a moving company and I was helping them draft emails for when they had negative, customer service challenges that were coming in. So how do I want to respond to people? Now, number one, if it's something major, you don't want to send them an email. You want to get on the phone and deal with them. But you can still create some phone scripts to help guide somebody who might not be fast on their feet. They might not have very high emotional intelligence. You want to make sure that you are guiding them, or they might just not have the experience of doing that. So you can create some different scripts to guide them through what they need to do or say to deal with that particular customer. Now, you can create in this testing, are they very upset? Are they mildly upset? Are they being cordial and just understanding to something that happened? All three of those communication styles are going to be very different on how you are responding. So that is where testing comes in. If you're building a LinkedIn ad or a Facebook ad or whatever that might be, we A/B test all the time. So you could say create 4 ads, 5 ads, 10 ads. And then you could actually, here's a bonus tip, create a rubric or create a scoring system, meaning you could go get all of your competitors' ads, copy and paste them, and say, score my ads against these ads. And then you can start picking the best one and pushing those out there. So testing is another very important piece of this. Next up is intent. Now, in a perfect world, I would put the IQ at the front. And you'll see why in just a second. But intent, the human drives the intent. You are going to clarify the desired action that you want. What should a reader do after consuming this content? Right? You created something. What do you want them to do? Do you want them to sign up? Do you want them to download, share, purchase? What is the intent? Make it explicit. Don't assume the AI will infer your goals. It cannot read your mind. State them directly for better alignment and better results. Now, here's a good example. Encourage signups to our webinar on AI productivity tools. Include clear call to action in the final paragraph. So you're guiding it step by step by step. It's your wisdom, because what other people are going to do is put in this generic prompt. They're going to copy and paste it. They're going to throw it online. And if you're doing that, you're going to sound just like them. You're going to sound just like everybody else. Prompt IQ is what gives you your voice. It's what keeps everything on brand for you. And if you're interested, I can show you how to train your AI so you don't have to constantly be pushing all of this stuff out and retraining and putting everything in. But you can meet all of those guidelines, and the workflow is just amazing. Okay, and last up in Prompt IQ is quality. Quality. Set language standards. Specify reading level. This is super important here, because if I'm trying to learn something new that I don't understand, when I craft my prompt, I'm going to say something like, teach this to me like I'm in 5th grade or 8th grade. And then I will slowly start going up the ladder, 8th grade, 12th grade, a junior in college, somebody working on my master's, somebody working on a PhD. And over that course of time, I'm really going to learn and understand the content that I am trying to consume. If I'm writing to beginners, I want to go in there and say, look, write this in an 8th grade level. I don't want this written at a PhD level. I know if my audience is beginners, I'm going to lose them if I don't kind of, lack of a better term, dumb down the content that I'm creating. So you want to make sure that you're specifying what reading level, what comprehension level of the audience that you're at. Define some constraints. Word count limits. I want to write a 300 or 500 page blog post. I want to write a press release that's 200 words or whatever that is, right? You could require elements. You could put forbidden terms. Don't use words like unlock, unleash, clarity, things that you see in AI generated content all the time. You could just kind of wipe those out and make sure that it's not being used. M dashes all over the place right now. AI, for some reason, loves M dashes, so you could just get rid of those. So define what those constraints are. And then request specifics. Ask for citations. Ask for statistics, examples. Go get links. Do the deep research and make sure that what we are creating here is accurate. Okay, so here's a nice example. Use simple language accessible to non-technical readers. Include at least one industry statistic. Keep under 200 words total. And I would add to this now, do deep research so we can verify any numbers, any stats, anything that we are using here. But please, even if you do that, you still need to put a human in the loop to verify each and every one of those stats and those citations, because this is your credibility. And you really don't want to automate something. You've worked so hard to build a great reputation, and you don't want to have anything torn down because you got a little bit lazy or just started resting on your laurels a little bit and let automation take over. So always, please have a human in the loop that is approving this before anything goes out. And to close out the PromptIQ Framework segment here, you can see if you use a vague response, you're going to get a very generic output. But if you use the PromptIQ structure, and I want you to notice in this slide here, this is not a huge prompt. PromptIQ does not mean you're creating this long, huge 900-page document as a prompt. You can see right here in this structure, and I'll read it to you really quickly. It fits the entire structure, and it's one very short paragraph here. So the prompt is create a 3-paragraph LinkedIn post for marketing professionals announcing our AI analytics tool. Use an engaging conversational tone, include one statistic about time saving, and the goal here is to drive demo signups. Provide 2 variations with different hooks. So you can see it's much different than write something about our new product launch. You're going to get ready to use content here. You're going to get perfectly targeted messaging. You're going to get a consistent brand voice. You're going to get a strategic structure and some actionable steps. So understand that good prompts, good results aren't really just magic. It's just structuring it. It's guiding it. It's asking the right questions, defining problems, understanding the outcome that you want. And if you start using PromptIQ, I promise you, it's going to transform your AI outputs and you're going to achieve this very consistent quality because you, as the human, are driving the intent with your wisdom. Now let's jump into the second thing I think is going to create so much value, save you so much time, and that is how to use ChatGPT into Gamma to create your next presentation. And this is going to save you hours and hours and hours of time. Now, I have to do this generically, of course, but it's going to give you a very good idea of how you can do this. So here is the prompt inside of ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Copilot, whatever it is that you're using. This is going to work in all of them. So you're a strategic advisor to CEOs. Build a 10-slide outline for a leadership offsite deck. I'm going to use my company here. Company is launch ready. Objective: align exec team around 3 company-level priorities for the next 6 months. Include direct titles for each slide, short content notes per slide, executive tone. The outline should cover current performance, 3 priorities, risks, execution steps, and leadership responsibilities. No generalizations, no filler. Structure it like a CEO would brief the room. So you can see we're following the PromptIQ method here, number 1. Number 2, this isn't a huge prompt. Now, you could put in any information that you have that would help make this even better. It's maybe Word docs, PDFs, reports, Excel spreadsheets, websites, whatever that is, you could get it. But this is at least going to give you a 10-slide framework for your next talk or meeting. So let's click the little magic button here. And as you can see, it is now creating a 10-slide outline for this talk. Now you can go in here and change everything up, do whatever it is that you need to do. But this is where it gets really cool because we're going to go to Gamma. You're going to copy and paste this, go to Gamma. It's gamma.app. And once you're in this platform, you're going to create new. And keep in mind, I believe you can do up to 10 slides for free. So if you just want to go in here and play around with it, give it a test, you don't even have to give it your credit card. You can just log in and use it and at least get 10 slides done. Now, there's all kinds of options. I'm not going to give a full tour for the sake of time, but we're going to use this paste in text. We're going to do presentation. I'm going to paste in everything that we had over there. I'm just going to take out some of the stuff that we don't need, just that intro, outro there. But you can see we literally have all 10 slides here and that. So you have some other options down here. We're just going to use this generate from notes or an outline because that's what we put in here. And then click this blue button, continue to prompt editor. Now, depending on the complexity of your presentation, you've got all these different things. You can do detailed, extensive, concise, minimal. For the sake of this, I'm just going to do detailed. That's where the default setting is. You can now put, this is back to modeling, right? Who are you writing this for? It's actually giving you the modeling portion of PromptIQ right here with write for and tone. You have all these different templates that you can use. So for this, I'm just going to pick a very basic light one. And there's just so much you can do in here. That's my point. The cool thing is you can go card by card and kind of do very easy customizations. You can free form it and just let AI do its magic. If you have some complex slides, need to go up to 20, you just go here and you can do as many slides as you want. I have like the middle plan, so I think I can do 20 cards is my maximum. There's another plan you can go up to 60 cards. For this one, we've got 10 cards. So all we did is put it in here. We're using free form. We're using detailed. We're using a basic light theme, and we're going to click generate. And I'm not going to speed this up or anything. Like, it happens very quickly. And I want you to see this in real time. Look at that. Slide 1 done. So not only is it formatting each slide, I want you to notice it's putting images into the slides as well. It's creating really cool formatting. So it's making it aesthetically pleasing. And there you go. Like, this is real time. I'm not, no trickery, no speeding anything up. It is just making all of these. We are already on slide number 7. Here's slide number 8. Look at that. It's putting success metrics by priority. Here's a timeline. And here is your 10th slide. So we are totally done now with this presentation. And what did that take us? A matter of a couple of minutes. Now you can go in here, completely customize it. You can swap out these photos if you want. I'm not going to do a full tour, of course, for time today. It's just endless what you can do in here. It's going to save you so much time. You can present straight out of the platform itself if you so desire. Or you can go in here and you can actually export this as a PDF, a PowerPoint, a Google slide, PNG, whatever that is, and you are literally done with your presentation. And the last thing that I want to share with you is the pulling a behavioral and a disc profile just using somebody's LinkedIn profile. It's that easy. This will allow you to communicate more effectively with the prospect or the peer or whoever that is. Now, in the past, I would just have to basically copy and paste the LinkedIn profile link into ChatGPT and then just ask it to run it. But since we last met, the new Atlas browser has come out by OpenAI, where ChatGPT is completely integrated within the platform. And this makes it even easier. And this is just incredible. I highly recommend downloading this browser, playing with it. It's just going to help save you a tremendous amount of time. And we don't have time to do a full tour here, but I just want to show you how quickly that you can go to a person's LinkedIn profile and run this assessment. Once you're in Atlas, you go up here to the right and you'll see this Ask ChatGPT button. You just click that and you can see now we are fully integrated, that there's a window that pops out that is exactly the same as if you were on your ChatGPT page. It's just integrated and it can read and see what you see on the screen. So in this case, I'm just going to run it on myself. I'm going to ask it to run a behavioral profile and disc assessment. Let's do a disc assessment on Harrison Painter's LinkedIn profile. And that's literally all I'm going to do. I'm not even going to do a big fancy PromptIQ here. We're just going to run a behavioral profile and disc assessment on Harrison Painter's LinkedIn profile. We're going to click that button. It is looking at the screen. It is here. It sees everything that we see, and it is going to break this down for us. And I'm not speeding this up. Again, we are in real time. That's how fast this is. That's how powerful this is. That's how much time it can save you. So you can see it's breaking down my core behavioral traits. And this is, look, this is very accurate. I'm an initiator, an educator, evangelist, a connector. I'm mission driven. I'm a pragmatic visionary. All of those absolutely fit. It's just getting this from my LinkedIn profile. Motivational drivers: purpose, innovation, autonomy, recognition, progress. I love it. Here's my disc profile. I should come out as a high DI. Yep, dominant influence. So there you go. My strengths: communicates vision clearly and persuasively, builds trust through authenticity and transparency, fast execution, comfortable making decisions under ambiguity, energizes team and audiences with purpose. Hopefully, I've done that with you today with this video. Bridges technical and non-technical worlds effectively, something I've been doing my whole career. Likely growth areas. Let's see what my weaknesses are. May overextend by taking on too many initiatives simultaneously. Guilty as charged. Can lose patience with slower or more risk-averse collaborators. Absolutely guilty as charged. May need to delegate execution earlier to prevent burnout. Haven't burned out yet, but I absolutely agree with that statement. Strong belief system, could occasionally polarize more neutral audiences if not framed strategically. So I can see that. I put my faith forward, so that could turn off some audiences. Leadership style, a catalyst, absolutely. So look at that. It's even looking at my self-awareness, my self-management, my social awareness. So this is very, very powerful. And you can see this will help you now communicate more effectively, whether it's a peer, whether it's a prospect, whatever that is. You can now meet that person exactly where they're at, and you can do it literally in a couple of minutes. And I think we will stop it there. That we're coming up on the 30-minute mark. That was my goal, to get this done for you in 30 minutes. If you just use PromptIQ, and then if you have a presentation, the ChatGPT into Gamma, that alone is going to save you so much time, so much headache, so much effort. And even if you create that and you pass it on to a team that designs everything for you, it's just faster communication. They're going to know exactly what you want, exactly what you need. And it took you literally 5 minutes to put it together. So I hope you found value in this. If you did, just let me know. Give me a call, give me an email. I would love to get a testimonial from any of you that would be willing to give it. And if you have any questions, if you want to schedule a discovery call, I'll put my contact information here, or it'll be in the email or on the website that you're watching this particular video. And just know I'm looking forward to building a relationship with all of you, and just creating value and helping guide you through this very fast changing AI driven world that we all find ourselves in. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. And I will see you all soon.